Good evening, fellow degenerates. Mickey D here for Cold Beer Sports on Thursday evening, just gone 5 o'clock. Saw no racing today. I've begun on a school run with special needs kids for 3.5 hours, half 1 to about 5 every day. So when I miss anything, I want to watch them in the evening. So we'll talk about them tomorrow evening when I see them. Roads are brutal out there with roadworks this time of the year. It's absolutely a nightmare and traffic jams everywhere. But anyway, we're home. It's a good job the homework was done last night. On a Thursday evening anymore, I'm going to do to cater for all our viewers. Paddy and Joe that are behind the scenes catering a lot with the Patreon service. And I'm going to do on a Thursday night, I'm going to do a 1 pint, or it could be a 2 pint. When I mean a 1 pint now, it's totaling 1 pint. Trixie, so it'll be a €2 Trixie with a €2 treble. So the total will be €10. That's equivalent to 1 pint. Maybe at times we might do a €4 Trixie with a €4 treble. That'll be bringing us to 2 pints. Any wins will be calculated. Whatever we get back will be divided by 10 to get a plus, to keep track of the pints. And I'll also give on a Thursday evening my selection, an each way selection for the big race, which will be taking place every Saturday. I'm going to be on 4 or 5 nights a week from now on. Some of you might say, oh Jesus, and some of you might say anyway. So we're going to try our best to take care of everyone's needs at Cold Beer Sports for the winter. So I'll be on at least 4 evenings a week, sometimes 5. But every Thursday will be the Trixie with my each way for Saturday. So the Trixie for Saturday is, for tomorrow evening. The first one is I like to get sort of a banker or a 6 to 4, 5 to 4, 7 to 4 in that, and then the other ones around 5 to 2, 3 to 1, 7 to 2. So it'll be a couple of hundred if you hit it for a tenner. That's the aim at all times. It's a successful enough bet for me down through the years, and I'd like to share it with you. Have faith and trust, and don't be given out if it doesn't happen the first couple of times, but I guarantee it will happen at some stage. Well, guarantee is too strong a word, but I'll do my best to make it happen. The 11:20 tomorrow at Lingfield, resumption for Haggis. Young Farher taking off £5, 73, it's a mile and a half, first time in a handicap. Looks like it needs the distance, so it's a 6 to 4 shot. The second one then is Indefatigable, 7 to 2. I'm taking on Paisley Park. It beat it the last time, snug enough. I know they're putting cheek pieces on Paisley Park. He's probably the 2 to 1, 9 to 4 favourite. I'm going to still go with, I had back to the last day, the 8-year-old mare. She's £6 worse off, but £6 would have stopped her the last day. I know there's money for Mrs. Milner, and there's a couple more in it, but I'm going to risk it with her. And then the last leg will be a Tony Martin horse in the 7:30 at Dundalk, Belgo Prince. The last one ran in Dundalk last spring. It was second of 65. It won off 65 in Navan 2 runs back, and then it ran in Cheltenham in the hurl race the last time, and there was a lot of money for it, as Joe was saying when he was over there. So it's still off 70. I think it's nicely handicapped. The 2-mile trip should suit. I know there's 2 O'Comers in it, and one of them is going for a hat trick, and there's money for the top weight, but we can't get them right, and I'm just going to leave them alone until I get wee Jim and a couple online again. I forgot to mention just disaster last night, wasn't it? That joke in getting best the favourite. I know, hurtful. It hurt me. But anyway, that's the 3. So €2 treble and a €2 Trixie. So if the first 2 ever is up, you have an option to cash it out. So always cash out the Trixie because your treble is still running, because you still have a treble on your Trixie. So the big race on Saturday is the Ladbrokes. And we didn't get the podcast done today. The wheelbarrows were in for maintenance after the bollocks and they went on in Galway the weekend. And Joe Valuate he's in for indicators or something. I don't know what he's up to. So the wheelbarrow podcast will be on next week for sure. Anyway, the Ladbrokes, I had my notes written down just for the preview. That Cloth Cap won it last year of 10 stone he was carrying, but he was off 136. He's off 154 this time. And he is a wind operation since the last year. So on the ropes is up £11 for winning the Munster National. It's running off 152. It's all the rage. I think Paddy had it anti-post pick on the Patreon. So anyone that was on it, his suggested odds are it's nearly halved in price now, I believe. So I'm looking, a lot of the bookies are paying 6 places. There's 21 declarations. I'm looking at the machine. It's rated 142. It's carrying 10 stone 6 for Kerry Lee. It's a second season novice, which goes well in this big handicap, formerly called the Hennessy. It won snugly in your Toxeter first time out last year on good to soft ground. And then it followed up, that was off 122. It followed up an Ascot rated 132, 3 miles soft ground. It was third in Newbury the 29th of December off 140. Then it was second in the Reynolstown 3 mile grade 2 chase in Ascot in February. It's out of Flemonsford, goes well fresh, will go on the ground. It's a lot of bookies paying 6 places, 14 to 1. So I'm suggesting 1 point each way bet on that. So it'd be a lovely way to start off, or if we could get 2 up in the Trixie, if not the 3, and to get a place, if not the win, in the big race on Saturday. So when I did mention the word lovely, though, it reminds me one time in the school, the school teacher asked the class to put the word lovely into a sentence. So Mary anyway put up her hand and she said, my daddy brought home flowers last night, big bunch of flowers, and Mammy said they were lovely. Well, she says, that's excellent. She says, definitely a red star for you. So anyway, Jane was down the side and she put up her hand and she says, Granny came over to our house yesterday evening and we had a lovely time. She says, that's absolutely brilliant. Another red star for you. Johnny was down at the back anyway, and Johnny says, yes, Johnny, we were sitting down for breakfast last Sunday morning and my 18-year-old sister came down the stairs and she sat in at the table and she says, I've something to tell you. What's that? Said my father. Says Johnny. She said, I'm pregnant. And the old fella said, lovely, fucking lovely. Mickey D, over and out. Bash the bookies.